Good models don't make good VFX. Lighting does. In this episode, we're going to turn a flat scene into a believable and cinematic shot. Welcome back to the Blender Greenscreen VFX course. In episode 3, we're going to focus entirely on lighting. We're going to be matching our clip with the environment, we're going to be shaping the mood, and we're going to be using light to sell the realism. This is where the VFX actually starts to feel real. Quick heads up before we jump into this one. This episode is a little bit different from the previous one. So instead of a step-by-step tutorial, this is going to be a commentary walkthrough. The lighting process is really long and breaking it into steps would slow everything down. Please focus on how I'm placing the lights, how I'm shaping the scene, and how the mood changes. So I'm going to be calling out the important details along the way. Things like the light power, the radius of the light, the color of the light, or the temperature of the light, and why I'm making each of these lighting decisions. So if you follow the logic behind the moves, you will be able to apply this lighting approach to any VFX shot that you work on. All right, let's get into lighting. This is exactly where we stopped last time. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to quickly hide my floor so that I can increase the performance of my PC, because it's slowing down a little bit right now. So then I'm going to create a collection where I'm going to keep all my lights. The first layer of light I'm going to create is my HDRI, because this is going to help me to create this ambient lighting for me to be able to see my entire scene. The name of this particular HDRI I'm using is called Satara Night, and it's coming out of the Polyhaven assets. So please pay attention to my world settings. Rotation is -239. The strength of my HDRI is -4 or -4.5. Then the temperature is -50, and that's all. The first light I'm going to create here is going to be an area light. So I'm going to use a disc instead of a square or rectangle. Then the temperature of this light is going to be 4500, and the power of this light is going to be around 15 to 20. So the work of this light is to push out my character out of the darkness a little bit. So the light is going to be directly above the main character. The second light is going to be a duplicate of the first light, and the work of this light is to illuminate our background props. So I'm going to adjust the rocks a little bit, and the settings of this particular light is going to be, the power of the light is going to be 500, and I'm not going to be using the temperature this time around because I want the light to be like the blue nighttime light. So I'm going to give it a blue color. After the background light, the next light is going to be like a backlight for our character. So I'm going to be using the Blender's light linking feature to make this light to affect only the character. So this light is not going to touch any other thing in the scene. If this is new to you, please let me know in the comment section, and I'm definitely going to be making a future video where I talk about light linking. The next light is a duplicate of the backlight I just created, and for this particular light I want to use this light to illuminate the fire that is coming out of this barrel. So the temperature of this particular light is going to be extremely low, something around 3500. That's going to be the temperature. Then the power of this light is going to be the 100, and I don't want to forget about talking about the radius of the light, because I want this light to be so big. So I'm going to use a 0.5 radius for this particular light. Okay, let's duplicate this light one more time. This time around I'm trying to add more juice into this fire that is coming out of the barrel. So I'm going to reduce the power of this light to 50, and I'm going to keep everything exactly as what it is right now. The temperature is going to be the same thing, the radius is going to be the same thing, and then one more time I'm going to duplicate again, and I'm going to push this particular light close to, I'm going to push it close to the floor around the tire of the car. Then I'm going to reduce the radius to be 0. This one is going to be a very tiny light, just like a backlight for the barrel. So it's time to duplicate the tiny light that we just created. So I'm going to push this light to the other side of my character. If you are into cinematography, you know what a fill light is. So I'm trying to use this light to create a fill light for the dark part of the dark side of my character. So I'm trying to illuminate him a little bit out of the darkness. So the power of this light is going to be about 15 to 20, or the particular number that is working out for your scene. Then the temperature is going to still be around 3200. Then my radius is going to be 0.5 because I need it to be big and soft. So this is basically all the lights you need to make this scene look good. So right now I'm going to jump into the lens sim add-on. This is the part where I change the Blender's default camera to lens sim. I've talked about it on this channel, but I'm still here to do a dedicated tutorial about how to use the lens sim. So if you guys want to learn how to make use of this particular add-on, indicate by letting me know in the comment section below. So basically what this add-on does is that it emulates like the real world lenses that we have, and it gives us access to film emulation, which then makes our shot or our render look very cinematic and realistic. So if you are so worried about realism inside of Blender, this add-on is a must-have for you. So I'm just going to play around with the add-on a little bit and look for the best lens I want to use. Then I added one more foreground prop into the scene, and that was all. Sorry, I forgot, I also added the fire, which is inside of the barrel. So I'm going to add a link in the description where you can download exactly the same fire set that I used. And this is what the final render looks like. So if you have been following up this course from episode 1, I would really love to see what you guys are creating. Please, you can DM me on Instagram at Nerdy Pictures. Send me your work and I'll be very much happy to share it with everyone here. In the next episode, I believe it's going to be very short because we have done 90% of the work. So we are just left with the icing on the cake, which is going to be composition and a little bit of camera movement before we start rendering the video out. So thank you guys for sticking to the end of the course, and then obrigado, right? Ciao, that's thank you, goodbye, right? I'm currently learning how to speak Brazilian Portuguese, so I'll be practicing on the YouTube here with you guys.